Now, this is a video every single person needs to see. This is from former abortion doctor Anthony Levatino. If you've never seen his testimony, you need to watch it. This is him talking in this House Judiciary Committee, super powerful, talking about abortion and how he did abortions. Most of the world doesn't know how abortions truly are done and how horrific they really are. And this video, he breaks it down. It's a hard to watch one. It's a viewer discretion is advised, but it's just eye-opening. We got to keep talking about this issue. It is the most evil thing in the world, period. There's nothing more evil in this world than abortion. It's extremely wicked, dark, and demonic. And I want to keep using my platform to spread awareness and to let people know the reality of this. If one person changes their mind on this issue or sees it differently from this video, then it's worth it. Let's watch this video and we'll stop and react. And I have another video I want to show you after this that's really smashes a point that people constantly try to make about abortion is just for rape and this and that. And he's going to talk about that. Let's watch.
Anthony Levatino. Dr. Levatino is a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist. Over the course of his career, Dr. Levatino has practiced obstetrics and gynecology in both private and university settings, including as...
And he's now a believer. He got saved and he's pro-life, but he did over 1,200 abortions during his career.
An associate professor of OBGYN at the Albany Medical College. And Dr. Levatino, we'll begin with you. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to get right to it. Second trimester D&E abortions performed between roughly 14 and 24 weeks of gestation. Your patient today is 17 years old. She's 22 weeks pregnant. Her baby is the length of your hand plus a couple of inches. And she's been feeling her baby kick for the last several weeks, but she's asleep on an operating room table. You walk into that operating room scrubbed and gowned, and after removing laminaria, you introduce a suction catheter into the uterus. This is a 14 French suction.
This is so hard to listen to, guys, and sickening, but we need to know the reality of what's happening, and we need to spread awareness on this issue of abortion.
Catheter. If she were 12 weeks pregnant or less, basically the width of your hand or smaller, you could basically do the entire procedure with this. But babies this big don't fit through catheters this size. After suctioning the amniotic fluid out from around the baby, you introduce an instrument called a Sofer clamp. It's about 13 inches long. It's made of stainless steel. The business end of this clamp is about 2.5 inches long and a half-inch wide. There are rows of sharp teeth. This is a grasping instrument. When it gets a hold of something, it does not let go. A D&E procedure is a blind abortion, so picture yourself introducing this and grabbing anything you can blindly and pull, and I do mean hard, and out pops a leg about that big, which you put down on the table next to you. Reach in again, pull out an arm about the same length, which you put down on the table next to you. And use this instrument again and again to tear out the spine, the intestines, the heart and lungs.
As you can see, that girl in the crowd has a Planned Parenthood t-shirt, and there's a bunch of people in this audience and speaking, saying, leave women's bodies alone, don't talk about abortion, and he's over here, you know.
And the baby that size is about the size of a large plum. Can't see it, but you pretty good idea you've got it if you've got your instrument around something and your fingers are spread about as far as they go. You know you did it right if you crush down on the instrument and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's brains. Then you could pull out skull pieces. And you have a day like I had a lot of times. Sometimes a little face comes back and stares back at you. Congratulations. You just successfully performed a second trimester D&E abortion. You just affirmed her right to choose.
Why did you end your practice of doing abortions?
I did over 1,200 abortions over a 4-year period in private practice, not counting the ones that I did during my training. I met my wife during my first year of training at Albany Medical Center. We got married about a year later and found that we had an infertility problem. After years of failed infertility treatment and several years trying to adopt a child, we were blessed with adopting a little girl that we named Heather in August of 1978. As sometimes happens in those situations, my wife got pregnant the very next month, and we had 2 children 10 months apart. 2 months short of my daughter Heather's 6th birthday, she was killed in an auto accident and literally died in her arms in the back of an ambulance. Anyone who has children might think they have some idea of what that feels like, but unless you've been through it yourself, you have no idea whatsoever. I know people find it hard to believe, but what do you do after disaster? You bury your child and then you go back to your life. And I don't remember exactly how long it was after my daughter died that I showed up at Albany Medical Center OR number 9 to perform my first second trimester D&E abortion. I wasn't thinking of it as anything special. This was routine to me. But I reached in, literally pulled out an arm or leg, and got sick. You know, earlier on I described stacking up body parts on the side of the table. It's not to, gross people out, to use a simple term. When you do an abortion, you need to keep inventory. You have to make sure you get 2 arms and 2 legs and all the pieces. If you don't, your patient's going to come back infected, bleeding, or dead. So I soldiered on and finished that abortion. And I know it sounds, as I said, hard for people to believe, but I'm telling you straight up my experience. You know, after over 1,200 abortions, first and second trimester up to 24 weeks and all the rest of it, and being very dedicated to it, for the first time in my life, I really looked at that pile of body parts on the side of the table. And I didn't see her wonderful right to choose, and I didn't see all the money I just made. All I could see was somebody's son or daughter. And I stopped doing late-term abortions after that, and several months later stopped doing all abortions.
That is so crazy, guys. That's just the terror and the horror of abortions, this demonic practice. It is demonic. It goes all the way back to the Bible times where they'd sacrifice their babies in the fires of Moloch. And in those times when they sacrificed their babies in the fire of Moloch, if they were sad or remorseful, their sacrifice wouldn't count. And that's why you see women laughing about it. They have no remorse. It's demonic. It's happening in our generation. And without a doubt, like I said earlier, it is the most evil, demonic thing that has ever happened in humanity. And it's happening right now. In fact, I live in California, and they will literally fly you out, pay for you, taxpayer dollars, for you to come get an abortion here. There's billboards here in California that, hey, we're the abortion state. We'll fly you out. I mean, think about how despicable and demonic and disgusting that is, to fly someone, to pay for someone to come out to get an abortion because they can't get it done in their state. That's just sickening.
Statement that,
Here's
well, I don't think that Roe v.
Now, this girl he was kind of debating, who is pro-choice, was saying that, it's only for rape and abortions aren't common unless it's rape. So I want you to hear what he says here in this clip.
Wade willy-nilly allows abortion at any time during pregnancy or any reason. Ma'am, that's wrong. And I won't get into it here, but that is flat out wrong. It's not what the language is. Here. It does allow that. More importantly, she made a statement. She made a statement that, and she talked about rape and she talked about incest. And she made a statement that said, I think that the majority of abortions are being done for these kind of reasons, and they're very.
And this is what a lot of people say. Most abortions are done for, they're mentally handicapped, they are persons raped, incest. But listen to what he says. So that's the lie that people give of why abortion happens, why most of the world thinks that's why abortion happens. Listen to this.
Rarely done on healthy moms with healthy babies. And I wrote back to her, thanked her for her comments, and we went back and forth for a little bit on email. And I told her, and I said, I know you're not going to believe it, but this is the absolute truth. I did 1,200 abortions, first and second trimester. One was for rape.
Okay, 1,200 abortions he's done. And out of 1,200, one of them was for rape. Think about that. All the others, it's because of rape, it's incest. And he says only 1 out of 1,200.
2 were for incest. About 9 or 10 were for genetic defects like trisomy 21. And all the rest of them were healthy moms and healthy kids. Mm-hmm. People believe what they want to believe, and they don't want to believe that. But that is the truth.
That's so disgusting. That's the reality of abortion. Most abortions happen because somebody doesn't want to spend the time, the energy, effort. They're not ready for a baby. So instead, society says, just kill your baby. I know this video is going to get limited, demonetized, all of that, maybe not even kept up because YouTube might just get taken down. I hope it doesn't. But this is the horror of the world we live in and what we need to keep talking about, spreading awareness on. I don't care if it takes 1 million videos, 1 million testimonies. If we can get one person to change their mind, it's all worth it, guys. We need to pray for the ending of abortion. We need to adopt kids. We need to do foster care. We need to have kids. We need to be good parents. We need to go to church on Sunday. We need to be involved in a local church. We need to fight back against this darkness. I'm so grateful that there's already been some leadway happening where Roe v. Wade's overturned. Now it's at the state level. A lot of states have banned abortion, which praise the Lord, but we have to get it banned in every state. We got to see it end in the world. We cannot live in a world with this type of evil. I mean, if God doesn't judge America, he'll have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah because of the state of society right now and where we're at with abortion. Nothing surprises me when people say the government's corrupt. None of that would surprise me because we kill thousands of babies every single day. If we can do that, There's no telling what type of corruption, what type of demonic activity can be in our world. So pray for the ending of abortion, guys. Let me know what you thought about that video. I want you to share it with friends and family. I think everybody should see that testimony of the horrors of abortion. We're live Monday at 5 o'clock, Thursday at 5 o'clock with the podcast. And next week, we're going to be live every single day at noon, Monday through Friday at noon for prayer. So hope to see you guys in there. Please pray about becoming a monthly supporter of our ministry. We need support for 2026 because we make videos like this that get demonetized and all of our other pages are demonetized. So IsaiahSaldivar.com/partner. Pray about becoming a monthly supporter. We'll send you 70 sermons you can't get on YouTube, 20% off the merch store, and weekly prayer call invites and everything else like that. I love and appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.